Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be my September wrap up because we're still doing the backdated ones. Yeah, let's get started. First up, I read this, which is it's non-fiction. It's a discussion of the story, it's sort of Irish-Scottish story of Fionn McCool and how he gets represented in English language literature as opposed to Irish language literature. And the author actually admits that he doesn't speak Irish, which is slightly surprising. It's leading up to discussing Fionn and Joyce, which I don't know. I have no interest in reading Joyce, so I kind of skipped that chapter. But the rest of it is a good introduction. He likes his theory words a bit, but kind of expect that from American scholars, I'm afraid. Other than that, yeah. If you are interested in the topic, and I presume if you're interested because of Joyce, this is a good book to read. For those who already know, for instance, because they can speak Irish, it's kind of a bit basic, but it might give a perspective that you don't normally think of because you don't normally think about the English literature, maybe. The next book was Portuguese Irregular Verbs. Despite its name, as you can probably tell by the author, it's actually a humorous book about some academics and their adventures. It was recommended to me by a professor as a hilarious and accurate portrayal, and he is not wrong. It is amazing. And I'm going to have to go and look up the other two in the trilogy. Although, I think it's been out of print for a while, so it's a bit more difficult. The next books I was given for free by one of my mum's friends. And, well, free books, you don't argue. I mean, why would you? So that's why I ended up reading these slightly strange choices. The first was Girl with a Pearl Earring. I don't know, I was expecting it to be quite sort of relationshipy and the things that I don't really like, and actually it's not. I guess partly because she doesn't actually end up with the person she falls madly in love with, so in some ways it's a bit different that way. And then also, of course, it is set in the Netherlands, so it have a bit of a soft spot. Really sorry, any Dutch watchers, this is going to get embarrassing at some point. Yeah, didn't actually find this too bad, surprisingly. For me, I found it surprising. The second one was more Philippa Gregory. Now, if you've seen my last video, wasn't very impressed with the previous Philippa Gregory books I've read. Actually, I found this one to be much better. I guess it must be because she talks more about what's going on in the court rather than, oh, my children and my husband, which, yeah. So, I don't know whether I'm going to try reading any more after this. But, yeah, if you know some that are more like this by her, I would be interested to hear, actually. And no, I haven't seen any of the films. I don't watch films. It's a thing, I don't know. Just can't be bothered. It takes away from reading time. Okay. The final one was this very thin, small book, The Beast in the Jungle by Henry James. I had never heard of this person, but apparently he's some famous American person that famous author obviously, that is studied in school there. Dunno. This was the first time I'd ever heard of him, and I don't know, it's not too bad, I guess. I feel like this book could have been longer. I mean, On the other hand, he does write very long and complicated sentences, and maybe it being longer would be bad, because I would end up going a bit crazy. It is very difficult to work out what's going on sometimes. It's also hard to tell quite what's supposed to be going on here. I think, well, certainly it gets interpreted that the beast is related to the main character perhaps being gay. And I have looked at some scholarship which takes that interpretation. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem especially clearly written. But then I suppose if it was published in about 1900, it probably wouldn't be, would it? So maybe not anymore, Henry James. Sorry. And the final September book is also quite a short one, which I bought mostly for the pretty pictures. It's a book about medieval cats. And this kind of thing is the real reason for getting it. The beautiful manuscript illustrations. Oh, that was fantastic. Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. It talks about cat owning, terrible things that happen to cats, that kind of thing. I wouldn't say that it's especially deep, but then for a thin book which is mostly pretty pictures, you don't expect it to be especially deep. I guess it's kind of a very small coffee table book, really. But it's fine by me. It's pretty. That's what I wanted. And that was unfortunately all that I read in September. So, well, hopefully I'll find some more to talk about in my books for next month. Well, I think I will. Some of them are rather good. Yeah. If you have any comments about these books or recommendations, that kind of thing, I will be very pleased to hear it. Otherwise, until next time.